I open the game, I screenshot map, and would you look at that? 4 sections of the game are missing. Farsh Frontier, Sun Desert, Breezy Plain, and Lavulin Harbor. If there's any more, I don't see it, but those 4 are pretty important. Breezy Plain has some lore, I guess. Sun Desert definitely has lore. Farsh Frontier is why the second labyrinth exists. Its name is literally the Farsh Frontier. And yeah, on this game, am I right? Why do we have less content in the game? Whatever. My name is Forever Life and welcome to another Epic 7 video where today we're going to be talking about the geopolitics of Epic 7. This is the heart of Orbis. This is the genesis of the story. This is where the world is kept intact. You see, when the god Orbis died, Diche used his body to rebuild the world. She built the world on him, quite literally. She used his corpse as the world, and this is his heart. If this is destroyed, the world is destroyed. As a matter of fact, you will risk life and limb to protect this thing, this place, this heart, this whatever it is. You will literally use the breath of Orbis to restore this place, to give him more energy. Anything associated with Orbis must be protected. You might say, who wants to destroy this place? Well, the Dark Nebula wants to destroy this place. You literally have a world boss section where you basically fight off this spawn from the Dark Nebula, which comes from, just watch the episode 2 recap and you'll understand what I'm referring to. They're basically trying to destroy the heart of Orbis so that way, they can take off 2 Prima shards of the Celestial War shenanigans. But as far as we're concerned, we are protecting the heart of Orbis, so we do this world boss. We keep killing this creature that keeps respawning every goddamn time. Now, the second thing on this list are the Spirit Lords. If you've played episode 2 or if you've watched my episode 1 recap, you'll understand that if one Spirit Lord diminishes even a little bit of his powers, the world will go to shit and die, basically. So funny thing is, when Nixie's powers weakened and Dominial rushed to his side, Zerato was also there because he can also listen to Nixie's voice, my bad. The heat in Savara got so hot that Ross had to call Dominial to cool down the area because it was getting too hot. And then the reverse happened in episode 2 where Malachus got weakened, and because he was weakened, the flames were very weak. You could barely cook with this flame, and yeah, basically the world kept going bad. Now, I'm not sure where this was confirmed, but a running theory is that the spirit altars, rather the runes contained within the spirit altars, is where the characters get their magical powers. Your Sirmia doesn't just randomly spit fire, your Silk doesn't just randomly shoot wind arrows. Izeria wasn't born with the ability to just float, and that's apparently evident by the fact that Silk and Izeria are earth units that use wind, by the way. And would you look at that, Harris of the Wind, whatever his name is, he resides in Dunbalaira, which is, the wind spirit altar. So the theory is, if you defeat the wind spirit altar, you get the runes, and with enough runes you can basically learn to harvest the power of this world. And maybe that would explain the awakening system where you need runes to awaken your units. I'll briefly talk about the locations of the spirit altars. So obviously Nixie's Sanctum is where the ice spirit altar is located. You have Malachus's refuge in Meldrick, which obviously is where Malachus resides, but it's pretty close to where the fire spirit altar should be. And then here we have this weird floating arena which is rumored to be the light spirit altar. I'm not too sure, I would need someone to confirm that for me. And as far as the dark spirit altar is concerned, we don't know its precise location. Matter of fact, Luluka just randomly summons the dark spirit, so its location could just be undefined, or maybe it's in the land of death. We wouldn't know. Now, the third form of power is actually faith. By believing in the goddess Diche or just worshipping her very faithfully, you have non-characters. Examples are Achates, Lots, Dien, and Montmorency. I think there's one more, but either also technically falls into this category. Point is, by believing so much in the goddess, you are able to draw out her godly powers. And thankfully, Vivian confirms to us in Game of Princes that no matter the world, as long as your faith in the goddess is very resolute, you will be able to draw out her powers. And if there's anything sinful, Angelica confirms it's that sin is able to counter faith. So maybe if you are very sinful, you are able to draw out dark power, and if you are very faithful, you are able to draw out, the miracle of life, which usually associates with soul weavers, healing, and all that shenanigans. But why is this relevant? Well, it will help us understand the power scaling and why things work the way they are. So 3 of the 5 spirit altars are in Britannia, while 1 spirit altar is in Sidonia. By logic, Britannia should be the strongest country of all countries, which, when you dive deep, yes, it is technically the strongest country because it has the Heart of Orbis, it has Ross, Heir of the Covenant, it has so many things going on for it that it should be the leading country. And similarly speaking, the people of the Mur, the people of Meldrick, they have the fire spirit altar, they use burning flames. They should technically be the strongest people in Sidonia, but clearly that isn't the case. So what's going on here? Where do we start? I think a really good place to start would be Sidonia. Well, you see, in Meldrick, there used to be this divide between the tribes, and if a great chief emerged, these tribes would usually be united under the same great chief. But even before Meldrick, there used to be the Pupuran Ruins, which is where you explore in Ancient Inheritance. You go to that place, you explore it, etc., etc. And, frankly speaking, there is only one difference between the people of the Pupuran Ruins and the people of Meldrick. The people of Meldrick worship the flames. They worship Malachus, obviously, because how else do they bring out their fire powers? The people of the Pupuran Ruins worshipped the flames and the stars, and basically what happened is the people of Meldrick at the time, or rather, the people who mainly worshipped the flames, decided to band up, and that's how Meldrick came to be. They called the others heretics, or one side called the other heretics, and then it started this eternal war between the two, and eventually the people of the Moors did succeed. Now, there were people who worshipped the stars, which didn't worship neither flame or, they didn't worship flame, nor did they worship star and flame. So what happened to those people is that they fled to Constella and started the country there. So Meldrick is quite literally the starting point of 3 countries. You have Meldrick itself, obviously, people who worship the flames. You have the people of the Pupuran Ruins. Although they're dead, technically speaking, it was a place where a lot of people lived. They worshipped the flames and the stars. And then you have Constella, which obviously is the people who worshipped the stars. So in theory, Meldrick should be the most crossed out. Oh, my bad. Did I say crossed out? It should be the most shared population. Majority of people in Sidonia, if they want to claim they're locals, their roots and origins should be traced back to Meldrick. Now, whatever little people that worship the flames and stars technically live in the Scorned Lands, although their population isn't much, I think it's worth mentioning them, because for a while, Meldrick and the people of the Scorned Lands used to fight, because as I said, their history is literally buried in war of calling the other heretics, so it exists, and Hawazu has managed to unite them. Good on him. Now, going back to the map, I remember reading somewhere that basically the only difference between Witch Haven and the people of Constella is that the people of Constella worship the stars, whereas the people of Witch Haven either worship the goddess or just don't worship the stars. Basically one country is religious and the other is more magic oriented, and that's what's pissing me off. You literally have the Achen exiled colony separating them, which doesn't make sense. Why is the city of witches so far away from Constella? Aren't they the same people? Well, whatever. I guess people divide over the smallest reasons anyways. If you also zoom in on the map, you'll realize that Sulayu is suspiciously close to Aachen. Well, you see, majority of the Aachen population actually comes from Sulayu. Some people were poor at the time, and then they heard that yo, there's this land nearby that has a lot of iron, and this could be a potential industrial trade. Finally, something that actually resembles real life politics. You know, US attacking another country for oil, or this other country attacking this other country for the sake of iron, you know, natural resources. Hello, anybody? Anyways, so the people of Aachen are actually from Sulayu, and I think at some point, this is a theory of anyways, is that at some point these lands must have been connected, but due to the sheer fact that the Archdemon Wars cover so much land, and the goddess Diche is unable to recover the edges of the world, they usually have permanent damage there. I think the lands of Britannia and Aachen were connected, but I don't know, some destruction happened and severed the connection. Anyways, why is this relevant? Well, why is Aachen so big? Why is the exile colony dividing Witchhaven and Constella? If the people of Aachen are foreigners, why is it that they take so much land? I don't know. Maybe they fought a great war, but of course the game won't tell you that. But you know, before these countries were named what they were, right around the time, actually maybe even before the Pupuran ruins were in conflict with Meldrick, it seems like, or at least according to Lilius, that this land used to be united under one monarchy, which was, I don't know, it took the name of Perlucia, something like that. It's in her artifact, the Bastion of Perlucia or whatever. And to put it simply, Lilius genuinely believes that she descends from a bloodline of monarchs and wants a monarchy on this land. She wants to unite this land. Boy, oh boy, did you not see Perland? Perland is literally mixed races. Some people from Constella, some people from Aachen, some people from that land, some people from Britannia. It is literally mixed blood. Nothing about Perland screams original. It is quite literally the USA of Sidonia. And you know what does piss me off? The people of Aachen used the help of the people of Meldrick to literally burn the iron and start furnaces and start out the cities, which is why Meldrick and Aachen were on good terms. And then, if Aachen has all the iron, all the natural resources, and the people of Meldrick quite literally have all the flames, why is it that Perland has greater power than every other country? I mean, Constella worships gods. They can use godly powers. Witchhaven is literally a city of sorcerers. It's supposed to have the greatest mages in the land. And the people of Meldrick have the fire spirit altar. Their flames should purge everything in their way. And the people of Aachen have literally all the iron in the nation, or in this land, and they should have the strongest weapons. They should have the strongest military, as evident by Furious. And yet, for some reason, Perlucia, or rather Perland, modern Perland under Lilius, has a lot of weaponry. It has higher populations. It has a lot of things. And that's the weird part. They're not trading with Britannia. At no point in the story does it say, hey, did you know, fun fact, that the people of Perland actually trade with the people of Izira or the people of Savara? No, it's literally mentioned nowhere. Which, once again, why is Lilius in power? It makes no sense. Let's come to Britannia, where things are a little more tame. The people of this place are more peacemaking, if you will. They're tolerant of other places. Matter of fact, they're so tolerant that Tyranor still exists. As you know, in episode 1, the king died, tried to reviving Sigret. that went so well. And on the other end, you have the Prince Friedrich, who is basically Kisei's son, who also went insane by the acolyte. What's his face? Cheiron and Tenebria. So, the Friedrich is dead. The prince and king are dead. Why is Tyranor still a country? I don't know. I guess the people of Izira are pretty forgiving. There's also another place called Sulayu. We already mentioned majority of the people of Sulayu migrated to Aachen for job opportunities. Now here's the interesting part. Back in the Eulogy for the Saint event, back when the people were convinced that the archdemon Angrath has simply won this battle and that Ross, heir of the Covenant, has abandoned them, Diane rose against the occasion, and basically Charles deemed her queen because she quite literally said, yo, don't die. And so the king of La Mer, I'm not sure if he's Charlotte's grandfather or if he's her father directly. We only know that he fled to Solayu, and that's where Charlotte resides, obviously. Now, I'm not sure if Solayu is regarded as its own country or if it's a part of Azira. I'm not sure if Britannia itself are unified nations, because clearly Terranor is very opposed to Azira. And Rhaengar as well just seems like it's its own generic place with no ruler. It only has a whatchamacallit, a student council president, which makes no sense. Why do you let a high school anime girl be your lord? It just Rhaengar has no reason to exist. And I'm assuming it's also the same Taiwan in real life, because why is there so much technology in Rhaengar? It's literally a small island. How are they able to find all these resources to build modern technologies? Anyways, Azira also owns the northern and southern Wetherick Moor, which is suspicious because if Solayu isn't a part of Azira and Terranor is very opposed to Azira, why is it that Azira owns this northern and southern Wetherick Moor? You'd think, hey, they've been checkmated. Terranor or Solayu can easily just capture and take over the Wetherick Moors. Well, you see, Dusselnork is where the Nocturnals live, where the people who worship Lunaris live. Think Kisei, think Ludwig, okay? Now, these two characters obviously know who Lunaris is, and Lunaris basically is a goddess who made these barriers around Britannia whenever there's an archdemon war, and she has a barrier around Orbis itself to protect itself from, otherworldly threats. It's why Fastus isn't just able to freely roam in, and it's why Strays can't straight up S3 Britannia in general. And yes, since that place carries very important or at the time, it carried some very strategic importance, the people of Azira just doubled down and assigned a lot of its knights there. Matter of fact, so many students go there to train. Commander Lorena literally becomes Commander Lorena because she fought a wyvern in these cold cliffs. Now, as I said, Terranor makes no sense. Its king and prince are dead, so why does it still exist? I don't know. Maybe Crow will become next king. Maybe they moved from a monarchy into a democracy, which would be pretty interesting. But, before the king and prince died, it doesn't make sense how Iseria was able to flee from Dunbalaira and make it all the way to Azira, because you'd think, hey, the acolyte Kairon or Tenebria would just spot Iseria leaving the place and would be like, hey, that's an heir, let's kill her. But that doesn't happen. Iseria makes it out scot-free. It is what it is. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention the people of Savara? Yeah, those are furries from Natalon. Nothing much to say. They're there. No, actually, not a lot of them are from Natalon, but they're there. I actually don't know what's their lore purpose. They just exist there. Yeah, I am dragging this out. Let's move on to the next continent. Yeah, sorry, that was a lie. You see, the last 20 minutes or the last 19 and a half minutes were literally recorded a few days ago. This me that is talking to you right now kind of underestimated how unpredictable his family can be. So now I am all over the place. I have no idea when I'm gonna actually be able to record properly. So I'm just gonna end the video here. We're gonna continue the geopolitics if there is enough interest, or maybe if I do get interested enough, if episode 3 and episode 4 have enough to talk about, I will definitely make the video for sure. But yeah, do let me know in the comments, because I do find geopolitics interesting, but like in a fantasy setting world, as I said, it seems like Epic 7 doesn't think about the geopolitics until the episode is already out, you know? So, I don't know why I'm dragging this out. I really didn't want this video to be longer than it already is. So yeah, thank you for watching. Know that even if the number is small, I really do appreciate everyone watching. Because, frankly speaking, I do enjoy engaging in conversation. It's just, I'm a social person. Bye.